Oh, how the mighty fall. Someone I used to look up to is the same person I'm going to rant about later in this video, where I'll hold nothing back. Yes, as the title of this video shows, the older SML videos, as in those made prior to mid-2017, were my main source of inspiration for Grant Scarborough's Webkinz show, along with the works of a certain KinzTuber. To prevent myself from rambling, though, let's start from the beginning. Okay, maybe not that far back. Actually, we do need to go back to around that time, but it's not because of SML, even though he started uploading videos in 2007. We'll return to him later. For now, this was the year 6-year-old me got my first ever Webkinz, an elephant I named Zach. I still have him today, albeit with new eyes. For those who aren't aware, which I'm pretty sure you are, considering the name of my plush series is somewhat self-explanatory, but still, Webkinz were, and still are to an extent, a series of plush toys with each having an attached tag with a code. You adopt said Webkinz pet into a virtual world via the code, and there you go. Basically think of it as a combination of Club Penguin with Toys to Life games before the latter of those was even a briefly common trend. Anyway, as the months went on, with those months turning into years, my sister and I got more and more of these charming plushies, whether they be normal size, little Kinz, or even the occasional signature. Being kids, we had our Webkinz go on their fair share of adventures, roleplayed with them, and so on. We had other plush toys, yes, but Gan's scrappy stuffed animals usually won out during playtime, especially in my case. But alas, times are changing, and it wasn't just because the popularity of Webkinz was going to soon start fading, though that's a discussion for another day. By the time I was 11, my parents started to think I was just a bit too old for Webkinz and plushies in general. To be fair, Webkinz Classic is primarily meant for a player base ages 6 to 12, but having grown up with these guys, as in the Webkinz plushies, they grew pretty close to my heart, and I wasn't going to just give them away. Though the amount of Webkinz plushies I got from that point onward obviously slowed to a trickle. During this time, I was also watching videos other people made featuring their Webkinz. They largely don't hold up well by today's standards, but I can still find some charm in these. That and said videos were one of the reasons I loved Gan's ragdoll plushie so much. One KinzTuber in particular, who still makes the occasional Webkinz video to this day, the SuperDog19, is not just one of my favorite KinzTubers, but also one of my favorite online content creators in general, probably because his videos feel zany yet cozy at the same time. By the time I got into middle school though, even I was starting to pay less attention to the plushies with that magic W, having moved my focus onto other topics such as more serious gaming material and speculative evolution. Perhaps I was going to outgrow Webkinz. That was until the summer of 2014, when I saw this video for the very first time.
Sweating. What? What's that noise? What's that in a tree? Is that a cat? Come on, kitty! Come on! Oh my god, kitty! I'm coming to save you!
Yup, Stuck in the Tree was the first SML video I ever watched. From there, Pandora's box was basically opened. So I binged a ton of Logan's content, and loved it! Timing wasn't on my side though, as I had begun watching his videos in the midst of what is commonly known as the Junior era. Here, most of the videos Logan uploaded were primarily centered around Bowser Jr., and only Bowser Jr.
No! Take me to McDonald's to get a Happy Meal! I want a Happy Meal! You better take me to McDonald's to get a Happy Meal! Ah!
Let's just say this was when I, as a person, started to view the media I watched through a much more critical eye. To be fair, Logan's brother, Lance, who was the voice behind Shrek, Black Yoshi, and Woody, was busy with medical school at this time and, in turn, wasn't able to play those characters nearly as much as before. That being said, Logan going by a schedule of 2 videos a week really didn't help matters there. Despite that, I still found the idea of doing plush videos for a living to sound, well, awesome. It's like you turn your childhood hobby into your career. Who wouldn't want that? Both the classic era and, even with its flaws, the junior era also have not just some of my favorite SML videos, but some of my favorite plush videos in general.
Alright, look who showed up at our front door! Oh my god, a freaking dog! It's the dog! Oh my god, oh my god, it's the dog! It's the dog! What's wrong, Chef Pee-Pee?
Where the hell did you get that dog from?
What's wrong?
Are you okay?
Where the fuck Yoshi go? Oh my god. Where the hell did he go? Oh, where did he go?
Oh my god! Oh my god! No, please let me go!
The quality of Logan's videos, though, was still declining at this time, albeit at a much more gradual pace compared to what we'll see later. So, after noticing this, and seeing other people such as dabhdude and YoshiPlayer complain about the same thing, I asked myself the obvious question: why not make my own plush videos? I already had a YouTube account for a few months by that time, along with a buttload of plushies, mainly Webkinz, thus the choice was obvious. This led to my first ever YouTube video, the one that started it all, Amoeba War. The version that wasn't polished, to be more specific. Yeah, the start of my plush series hasn't aged particularly well, but we all have to start somewhere, right? Anyway, while my output of episodes was relatively consistent at first, a combination of two things caused the Webkinz show to go on hiatus for nearly a year. First was that 5 Nights at Communism went through production hell, though that's a story for another time. Second, it was around this time in late 2015 that Logan's content finally started to climb back up in terms of quality, probably because the drone was such a critical disaster that it was.
Get here! Oh, damn it! Deputy, are you okay? I'm gonna go to the hospital!
He actually lost some 3,000 subscribers from that, believe it or not. Following this were videos such as The Perfect Plan, Mario's New Girlfriend, and Bowser Jr.'s Lightsaber. Yes, even the Junior videos were starting to rise in quality, despite the occasional stinker here and there. It really did feel like Logan was finally listening to the fans who originally jump-started his career. However, this actually gave me less of an incentive to work on my own plush videos, especially with 5 Nights at Communism's production being a serious drain on my motivation for the series. Throughout 2016, Logan's videos were still of an overall good quality, and again, many of these are amongst my favorite plush videos, well, period. Bowser Jr.'s YouTube channel, Bowser Jr. Goes to Military School Parts 1, Evil Chef PP, Bowser Jr.'s 8th birthday, and so many more! Logan hit 1 million subscribers on his main YouTube channel by October of that year, and I felt like he earned it! I honestly wanted to work as a member of his crew when I grew up. Things seemed like they were only going to get better and better going into 2017. Except there's something, or rather someone I forgot to mention. Jeffy.
Hello?
Hey, you want to see my pencil?
What, who are you? What are you doing here?
My name is Jeffy. See, it says it on my shirt. Jeffy.
Yeah, I, just like many other older fans of SML, loathed this puppet when he first showed his face in Mario the Babysitter. Oh, and as someone with autism, this thing offends me. No matter how much Logan nowadays tries to claim Jeffy isn't mentally disabled and is just really stupid.
Hello?
Oh, hi. Are you, Mario?
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, I'm Mr. Goodman. I'm the superintendent of special needs schooling, special needs schooling, special needs schooling, special needs schooling.
I don't buy it. Thankfully, the critical panning Mario the Babysitter got killed off Jeffy. For about 2 months. Turns out, Jeffy ended up gaining Logan some 20,000 new subscribers with his debut video. That's foreshadowing, by the way. Remember what I said about SML's 2016 videos usually being good? Well, those with Jeffy were usually an exception to the rule. Granted, there were some Jeffy videos from that year and early 2017 that I do like, such as The Ring and Jeffy's Parents, but the SML fanbase was becoming more and more toxic as time went on. The real cracks, however, began to show early on in 2017, when YoshiPlayer announced he was done with SML content for good, saying Logan only cared about money. And I honestly wished I listened to him more at that point. The events that got the ball rolling for me, though, was this.
The reason I took down GameCube Dude 300 is because I wanted the part of my internet persona that was SuperMarioLogan destroyed. Not cut down, not reduced, destroyed. Logan would talk, I would try to talk, and then Lavelle would just scream at me. That's how most of that call went. Lavelle was doing everything he could to keep me at a disadvantage in that phone call. He wouldn't let me talk, he was screaming at me, he was calling me fat, and there were a few times he was just like, yo Logan, fuck this, just take down the dude's channel.
Yes. Lavelle, who voices characters such as Chef PP, Joseph, and Bowser on SML, cyberbullied GameCube Dude, nowadays better known as C-Jax, into deleting his GameCube Dude 300 channel simply because he wasn't reacting to SML videos positively enough. And did Logan fire Lavelle, or at least reprimand him for this unacceptable action? Nope! Logan didn't even do anything when Lavelle pulled off a suicide stunt to promote one of his songs. Logan did nothing! Something else major happened around this time. Do any of you remember Zeke? He was the original voice of Mama Luigi, and was originally going to be brought back onto Logan's crew in 2017. However, I'm pretty sure you all know what happened next. Logan stopped responding to Zeke's messages, likely because all the 7-year-old Jeffy fans were throwing a big fit about there being a video that didn't include their favorite ableist puppet. Zeke nearly lost his job as a result of this. To this day, Zeke says that, even in a scenario where Logan contacts him to play Mama Luigi again, he would likely decline the request, and I don't blame him. In my opinion, this was a point of no return for SML. Oh, and Zeke, if you're watching this, I know you don't like talking about this stuff and have since moved on from SML, but I had to mention this as it plays a major role in how my hatred for modern SML developed, and I do hope you understand. By late 2017, I had gone from loving SML at the start of that year to absolutely despising it by the end. Having only made 7 episodes of my plush series by that point, I was all ready to go into full gear. If I and the other older fans couldn't get Logan to change his ways and get him to raise the quality of his videos back up, I was prepared to become his main form of competition. In my mind, the PlushTube war was about to begin. And then he got mass demonetized and age restricted. I admittedly did feel bad for Logan at that point, even though this was clearly his fault. Thus, I decided to wait for a few months in order for Logan to get back on his feet, so to say. I'm not really the kind of person to kick somebody while he or she is down. Then, Logan scammed a bunch of people on Patreon, and any sympathy I still had for him was annihilated! Anyway, my mostly consistent streak of episodes began in March of 2018 with the Omnitrix, which has since given the Webkinz show the feel and style it has to this day. I also began releasing my attack ads against SML at this time to a mixed reception. I'm honestly surprised I wasn't swarmed with harassment from the Jeffy fans, nor cyberbullied by Lavelle. Granted, I made sure to prepare myself in case this were to have happened, as I knew this was going to be a David versus Goliath type battle, even though said battle never occurred. My channel never really exploded in popularity from this, nor did the Webkinz show get much attention from the PlushTube community. Yes, even back then, I knew Webkinz was far past its prime in terms of popularity, but that didn't stop me from trying to convince people that this was going to be the antithesis to the bland slop that is modern SML. That being said, one could say I won, considering the cease and desist Logan got from Nintendo in early 2021. Yes, I do believe Logan deserved the cease and desist from Nintendo. Not because of him using Nintendo plushies, but because of all the horrible shit he's gotten away with. Especially with the Patreon scandal. For those who don't know, a shoutouts from their favorite SML character cost $100. Logan stole thousands of dollars from people as he barely gave any shoutouts whatsoever. We call that grand theft, which is a felony. In a just society, Logan would be in prison right now, likely never allowed to legally make another plush video ever again. But because we live under a capitalist system, rich fuckers like him receive little to no punishment for the wrongdoings. If Logan's not going to receive any legal repercussions from this, then I'll take any victory I can get. Before anyone asks, no, I don't think the same is going to happen to me with Gans, because I've been putting warning screens at the start of my videos since early 2020. Now, I'm certain Logan's newer fans are going to scream, "But Logan says his videos are for mature audiences only, and bad parenting is to blame!" Oh really? Then why is there so much SML merch geared towards kids? Why doesn't Logan put warning screens at the start of his videos? TV shows have those age ratings for a damn good reason! Also, many parents simply aren't able to spend time with their kids anymore, as they might be working multiple jobs to pay off their college debt, or working extremely long shifts at a single job.
We have a family just as well as the people in human resources and management. While we're working on the weekend and being forced, they're at home with their families. We can't even get a chance to enjoy birthday parties for our grandkids. We can't go away to take our kids to college because we're being forced to work. We can't enjoy our husbands, our spouses, because we're at work. By the time we get off work, it's go home, go to sleep, try to fix us something to eat, get into bed, and be back at work.
Logan knew exactly what he was doing, and it was downright predatory. He's basically a dumbass, yet an evil genius at the same time. It also seems like Logan's career is going to go into freefall soon. As pointed out in dabhdude's video discussing the rise and fall of SML, every new SML video hit 1 million views mere hours after being uploaded during Logan's peak of popularity. Now, it can take up to a few days for each new video to reach that amount. To say I don't feel bad for Logan would be a gross understatement.
You won't beat me! I can still prove to everyone that I am the hero! Just be quiet!
How could you do this?
You really are special messed up, aren't you, Logan? You lie so much! You've even managed to convince yourself you're not a monster!
All the horrible stuff that has tarnished SML in recent years
happened under your watch. And instead of taking responsibility for what happened, you lied. All you ever do is look out for yourself! Well, where did that get you,
Logan?
Right here. Alone.
However, I'm now left with a vital question. Now what? Am I simply going to cancel my plush series because SML isn't even a plush channel anymore? No. Grant Scarborough's Webkinz show will continue, but this will mark the beginning of a new chapter for both the series and my content in general. It'll no longer be simply an alternative to SML, but something much more. That being said, while I do hope to make these videos for a living one day, I'll also work hard to prevent myself from falling into the same trap Logan 30acre did, such as not going by such a demanding schedule of 2 videos a week. My series is already inspired by more than just classic SML and KinzTube. It's already got elements of Ben 10, the DC Animated Universe, Team Fortress 2, Gary's Mod, and more. So, yeah. That's the story of how Logan 30acre's classic works, as well as classic KinzTube, inspired Grant Scarborough's Webkinz show. I'll always cherish the older SML content, and will forever thank the Logan I used to know for all the laughs and enjoyment it provided. That Logan, though, is long gone, replaced with a capitalist who only cares about himself, his profits, and his career. As dabhdude said, it's time to move on. It's time for all of us to move on. Thanks for watching, as well as for over 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel.